Once again, we are going to turn to the outstanding Torah sage of our generation, Rabbi Tzvi Yehuda Kook, the former Rosh Yeshiva of the Merkaz Harav Yeshiva in Yerushalayim and the son of Rabbi Kook. First, we have to understand that the Gaza Strip, as well as the cities of Ramallah and Beit Lechem and Shechem, Nablus, and Jenin, all of the land in Judea and Samaria belong to the Jewish people and to the Jewish people alone, as well as the entirety of the biblical lands set down in the Torah that God gave to the Jewish people, promised to the Jewish people, promised to Abraham and to his descendants, Isaac and Jacob, for eternity. And Rabbi Kook said to his students a very strong speech, which he also wrote in letters to the heads of the government and as a public proclamation, and I quote, "We have absolutely no right to relinquish control of any piece of Eretz Yisrael." This is especially important because we made the terrible mistake in 1994 and 5 of giving away the Gaza Strip to the terrorists of Yasser Arafat, who turned it into a terrorist haven, which has become the terror center of Hamas. This is also true for the territory in Judea and Samaria, which we turned over to the Palestinian Authority, giving up Jewish sovereignty over these areas, although we still possess a military authority. Nevertheless, in doing this, we made a grave mistake in breaking the covenant between God and the Jewish people, which he sealed with our forefather Abraham. We're going to read about it in the Parsha, in the portion of the Torah that we read the coming week. God made the Brit, the covenant of Abraham, where he promises to give as an eternal inheritance all of the land of Israel. All of the land of Israel belongs to the Jewish people, and it is forbidden for any Jew, any government, to relinquish any meter of land, Jewish land, God's promised land, to any foreign country. So Rav Tzvi Yehuda continues and says, and we are not allowed to make a tiny mini state with the name of Eretz Yisrael. Eretz Yisrael must be all of the borders written in the Torah, which extend from the Nile River to the Euphrates River. It's a lot of land. It's a great, 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 great gift of land. And we have been weak in not establishing Jewish control over all of this land, because if we don't, we've been warned in the Torah, our enemies will come up against us and they will force us through war to regain and conquer all of these lands which God has promised us, because the word of God will not go untrue. The word of God is eternal. It is our job, for the honor of God, to extend Jewish sovereignty over all the land that God gave us, including the Gaza Strip and Judea and Samaria. So we are not allowed to give away chunks and pieces here and there. It's like chopping up a body. We cannot do this, Rav Kook says, because we are not the only owners of the land. We are the emissaries of millions of Jews, not only the Jews of today, but the Jews who will come after us as well. Our grandchildren, the Jews of America, the Jews of Russia, the Jews in Australia and South Africa, the Jews still in Europe, they will need a refuge. Eretz Yisrael must be kept in Jewish hands for them. Rabbi Kook continues and he says, there isn't any man or any leader of our country who is permitted to make territorial concessions on the land of Israel. Are these kilometers of land ours? Is it for the Rosh HaMemshalah, the Prime Minister of Israel, to give up to a foreign country, to an enemy who vows to destroy us? These kilometers of land belong to the millions of Jews in Israel and around the world. We are here in Israel as their representatives, as your representatives, the Jews of the diaspora who haven't yet come home to Israel. We are your representatives acting on your behalf. How can a person not feel ashamed by the thought of making do with a truncated state of Israel? Even today, before the war has ended, the Americans and other nations are warning us not to conquer Gaza, not to conquer the Gaza Strip, not to regain Jewish sovereignty over the Gaza Strip. They want the Arabs to continue to rule there. But as long as the Arabs continue to rule within the land of Israel, they will be poisoned. There will be a cancer that again and again and again comes to destroy us. We've seen that again and again. Hopefully this time, after the atrocities we have witnessed, the world people have awakened to the understanding that the Hamas and sister terrorists must be erased and destroyed from all existence. And Rav Kook continues and concludes. He says that it is a disgrace, a sorrowful shame, a violation of the Torah for us to abandon even 1 square meter of the land of Israel. And we are not allowed to show the Gentiles in the land of Israel mercy when they come up against us. Enemies of the state of Israel who don't accept our rule, our sovereignty, Jewish sovereignty, Israeli sovereignty over the land of Israel, they have no place in this land.